What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Jamming with J Money, man. We got a full card today. We ready to get to some money, man. I got some spots that I'm liking. You know what I'm saying? I know my guys. They got some spots they liking as well, man. Let's get to it. How you doing, Jordan? Everything cool with you?
Yeah, but guys, had a pretty good weekend. Took it light. Didn't really do any plays yesterday, and only one on Saturday because I had a little college football action. But no, it's been a pretty good weekend. Can't complain. And we'll get into this a little bit later. But we're going to see my boy John Morant tonight in Indianapolis, so also very excited about that. And a couple of my buddies are coming up from when we graduated together. So I'm feeling good tonight, ready to cash these plays. I'm sure you guys are feeling the exact same way. What's up? What's up with you guys?
What's up,
Yeah,
Junior?
sorry. I'm just ready to get to this money this week, bro. Yesterday was the first day that I didn't make a single parlay. I've been hitting these money line parlays. Didn't make one yesterday. Lost both of my plays. They were both quarter plays. That Clippers first quarter was ridiculous, bro. It was like 70 something points scored in it. Anyways, long story short, ready to get back to the money this week. Let's get it. Let's get into it, fellas. Whenever y'all are ready.
Yeah, let's get into it. Just to recap Saturday, me and Junior came on Saturday. It was a little light card. Zach LaVine went off like I told you guys that he could. He went off of what 13 threes and 49 points in that game. If y'all watched Saturday's show, man, I told y'all, hey, Zach LaVine gonna be pissed off for being benched that last game, and it's tough because if you bet the Bulls, they still didn't cover the spread. Well, if you had the money line, they did, but at -2 spread, I bet you won't take nobody else -2 when you once you take a loss like that. You know what I'm saying? You like, you know what? I'm betting money line from here on out, man. I eat the -130. It's cool. Just need them to win. It'd be like that in close games. That was pretty crazy. They come back and win that game. 88 points scored in that fourth quarter. Damn, boy, they almost scored points is enough for a half in one quarter. That was pretty tough there. And the Suns went and got it done versus the Timberwolves over there. I believe we talked about that game too. The Suns are pretty scrappy in that spot. Orlando tripped me out. They scored 40 points in the third quarter. Obviously without their two best players over there. And the Pacers, they seem to be scoring more points here lately. We'll get into that game as well. I told y'all about the Hawks, man. I told y'all, man, the Hawks. That was a little sleepy spot for the Raptors. I told y'all Hawks early. They cashed the first quarter and the first half, both of them on the money line. They were underdogs. And late in that game, they cashed the full game spread as well versus the Raptors there. The Spurs got their first win. I told you guys that they were going to do that there was a must-win spot for them versus the Knicks. The 76ers, I told you guys that they was gonna come and send a message here, and they pretty much blew the shit out the Heat. They end up being a 27-point game, but 76 was really up by 40 points in that game. Portland took another loss to the Cavs. They beat the Blazers without Kevin Love. Lakers barely squeaked by versus Memphis. Let's see, and then Detroit only mustered up 90 points versus Milwaukee, and then you had that high-scoring game, the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Jazz, 120 to 128, man. But enough about this weekend, man. Yesterday, I don't like to make bets on Sundays, but I did end up taking the Rockets yesterday. Took a big L on that one, man. That was pretty crazy. But if you had the Knicks yesterday, man, shit, you were one lucky motherfucker, boy. That last-second shot versus Randall to get you to cover with plus the 2.5. That was pretty crazy. RJ Barrett got ruled out at the last second. They end up covering. The Kings got the win yesterday. The Nuggets got the win and cover yesterday with their 10-point. They outscoring by 10 points in the fourth quarter, 37-27 to get you that cover there. And the Clippers blew the shit out the Pelicans yesterday, as expected, man. But let's go ahead and get to today's money, man. Plenty of games out here, and I'm ready to get to some cash, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this first game. Obviously, I always got to talk about the injuries. And this was pretty crazy, guys, because I saw this one moving from. So, right after I did the Jimmy show, betting with the bag show, which Jimmy does like the under in this spot, and I leaned to this as well. Well, as soon as I finished the show, I looked at my book, and it was 216. I'm talking about dropped down out of nowhere, 217, 216. And then it seemed like it's back up to 217 and a half now. So, it's pretty crazy what's going on. It's probably Love will probably come back today. It's the only reason why I could see that it comes back up. Call me crazy, but I like the Cavs in this spot, man. I know that the Nets have been playing better of late. They're 4-0 ATS versus a team with the losing record. They have won the past 3 or 4 games. Yeah, they've won the past 3 games. But this is a little back-to-back spot for them. Third game in 4 nights, and like I said, the Cavs, if they get Love back here, I think this is a Cavs spot, man. It's a spot where you might have to look towards the Cavs, and I'm also leaning towards the under as well in this one. Dinwiddie has stepped up He's averaged 25 points per game the last 5. The Nets do give up 118.7 on the road, but obviously, that's just overall. It's not saying the last 3 games. The Cavs are 26th in pace the last 3, and the Nets are 18th in pace. One thing bad about the Cavs is their 6th game in 9 days, so I think that bodes well for the under as well. I don't think neither team will be running up and down the court. The Cavs are 27th in offensive efficiency, and the Nets are 26th in offensive efficiency the last 5 games. So I'm looking towards the under in this spot, but I like the Cavs even more. You got any looks on this game, Junior? Jordan, you got any looks on this spot?
I do have a play
here
on this one. We'll see if we can get Junior back here in a second. Apologize for that. But no, yeah, actually, I don't mind the Cavs here, but I will caution folks. I think that, like you said, their 6th game in 9 nights. I actually think that trends more towards the over because their defense has been awful outside of their last win against Portland. And I think in this particular spot, even with the Nets coming off the back-to-back, I think that hurts their defense as well. They've been very good defensively here lately, but if you look at the teams they've beaten over their last 3, New York probably one of the worst offenses in the league. Sacramento missing their 3 best players, so probably not that great either. And Charlotte probably one of the worst teams in the league. So I'm not really buying their recent defense. I am buying with Spencer Dinwiddie on the court. They do play much, much slower than when Kyrie's on the court. So I think that does trend towards the under. But I actually have the over on this one. I grabbed it at 216. And now that I see it watching here, as we've been talking, steaming upwards, 217.5, 218 now at a couple shops, like I'm feeling pretty good about that because I thought Kevin Love was going to be back anyways. I think they're just kind of giving him the load management and kind of pre-tanking a little bit right now. I don't mind the Cavs to win, but I would say that I think the over is actually a better play. I'm very happy with where I grabbed it. I think if you can still get it at 216.5, it might be the play. But we'll see about that one. I'm very interested to see what happens with Love tonight. I think that is the key. I think you're exactly right.
Any looks on this game, Junior?
No, I don't see an angle that I like in this game, to be honest with you. I think that the one thing I do agree with Jordan is that even though Spencer Dinwiddie personally, like as a player, is one of the fastest players with the ball in his hands in the league, they actually play a much slower pace with him as a starting point guard. That's why I don't really know what to make of this number. And in terms of the actual game itself, I think that these are 2 teams that they're just really hard to cap right now, especially Cleveland, because they're just so up and down, so inconsistent. Like, remember, just like not even 2 weeks ago, let's just say a week and a half ago, we're talking about this is a different Cavs team. They're playing some great defense. Not anymore, they're not. You know what I mean? They've kind of regressed back to the team they were last year, and the team they were last year was one of the worst defensive teams literally of all time. Now this year they're not that bad, but if they're not going to defend, they can't really score. What you know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to really think of them? I got to see the Cavs play a little bit more before I could lay any money on them. I certainly can't take them as a favorite in any game, so I'm off this game.
Exactly. It is a bit of a toss-up game, but if Love is in there, then I will make a small play on the Cavs. And like I say, man, I was leaning towards that over, man. You look at the Nets, they're 2nd in defensive efficiency the last 3 games. They play slow. They've been playing good defense without Kyrie. I mean, they really only got 3 scores over there, in my opinion. And then with the Temple, and then, like I say, Allen might give you a little double. But I don't really – I mean, obviously Joe Harris is going to shoot some threes. But outside of that, I mean, their bench, I see is totally defensive lineup. You got players like Taurean Prince. I mean – I got to lean towards the under here. I didn't end up taking it, but with it ticking back up, hey, I might have when I saw it tick down to 216, I'm like, damn, was it a sharp move or what? It went down a whole point and a half. And then like Jordan says, it's ticking back up now. So it'll be crazy here to see. And I can say if Love is in, I mean, once he's confirmed in, then the total will probably shoot up another point as well. If I do end up taking the under, I'll wait until the last minute. I just think this is a little bit of a sleepy spot. 2 teams that's been playing somewhat good defense. Like you said, like Junior said, the 3 games before that, they were on the road and the Cavs were playing absolutely terrible. But I still think that this team is playing a little bit harder than the team of last year. And I think if it was a team last year, you wouldn't see them here in these pick'em type games. So it'll be interesting to see. It is tough to bet against the Nets right now. They seem like they kind of figured it out without Kyrie, but their pace, man. I mean, the Cavs been 25th in pace in the last 5 games. So I'm just looking at this as a little slower tempo game. Let's get into this next game, the Magic and Detroit. Detroit spot. I don't really have a lot on it, but just the notes that I wrote down. I mean, the Magic, like I say, they put up 40 against the Pacers in that third quarter, and that's with their guys with missing Gordon and Vujic out there. And they what I was telling you guys on Jimmy's show today, that they might get Gordon back. I think that'll be huge. I think this could possibly be a little sneaky overplay. The Magic they are 0-6 on the road. Obviously, they're averaging 99.5 points per game away. They allowed the Pacers to shoot 54% overall, so it's crazy to say, but their defense really hadn't been there. The Magic are 24th in defense the last 3 games. They were sitting at the top of the league in defense, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. They 26th in rebound percentage the last 3 games. I think this could possibly be a sneaky overplay, but definitely you would need the Pistons to score some points. They hadn't really been a great offensive team. They only scored 90 points versus the Bucks. They are 27th offensive rating the last 3, so that's the reason why I stayed off this over. But like I said, the Magic with Fultz at the point guard play a whole lot faster, man. Any looks on this game, Jordan?
Not on this game. I was looking at some props for it early, so I may attack that way, but I can't trust either of these two teams right now, but I do agree if Gordon comes back, that does help them a lot because the Magic are pretty deep at center with Khem Birch and Mo Bamba, so I'm not really too concerned about Vucevic. Obviously, that really hurts their offense, but they have enough horses, I think, to cover for most of what the points that he produces on a night-to-night basis. So it's going to be tough in Detroit, but I may lean the Magic here, but I think that's probably just a lean at this point. I'll probably stay off this game, maybe try to attack a few props on John Isaac or something, and then go my merry way on these early games.
Exactly. And the Magic, the last 6 games have went over. They might be coming from an under team and going to an over. Like I say, with these past game stats, you know what I'm saying? This could be a sneaky play on the over here, even though the total is moving down. Any looks on this game, Junior?
No look on this game for me, but I would actually lean Magic plus 4.5. There's no way that I would lay points with Detroit right now. They're super inconsistent. If you look at their past 5 or 6 games, other than that Hawks game where they scored 128 against a tired Hawks team, they scored 108, 106, 89, and 90. They struggle to score points, and I can see the Magic holding them to under 100 points. This could be a 90-something game. I just think that the Magic can keep it close. If you saw that Indiana game, even though the Magic ended up losing by 5, the score was tied with 10 seconds left. So it's not like they weren't in that game. You mentioned it before. They scored 40 points against Indiana in the third quarter. So Jordan's right in the sense that they still seem to be able to put up points, just not consistently. But the point is, Detroit is definitely not consistent. And the crazy thing is, even though Detroit has Andre Drummond, they're one of the worst rebounding teams in the NBA. Only Blake Griffin averages over 5 rebounds a game other than Drummond's 17, which is horrible. So against this Magic team that has all kinds of front court depth, I could see if Detroit doesn't shoot a high percentage, which is very possible, I could see them struggling against this Magic team. I don't want to put money on this game, but I lean Magic if I were to touch it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy to say. I actually lean that way as well. Even though the Magic are 0-6 on the road, they showed me something versus the Pacers. And I know everybody and their mama was on the Pacers on the spread in that game. I did do a little money line parlay, so the Pacers did catch. But like Junior said, shit, they scared me there for a second. Orlando looked like they wanted to go win that game straight up for a second there. Actually had the lead for a moment, but that's pretty crazy. There, the home team is 8-2 straight up in this series. So it's a stay away game for me. I lean towards the over, and I lean towards the Magic in that game, but I hadn't made a bet on it. Let's get into this Memphis and Indiana game. Again, we're gonna talk about. I don't really have a lot on it, but we're gonna talk about it because my guy's going to it. He got season tickets to the Pacers, man. So my guy over there in Indiana, Jordan, Memphis has been playing well lately. They damn near beat the Lakers at the house. If y'all watch that game, I really feel like, I know Junior hit me up, was like, man, what the hell LeBron doing shooting that 3? He's been making them sometimes, especially when he look at the ball, hit that pull 3. He just we wouldn't have been talking if he would have made it, but he did miss. They didn't even try to run a play there. I think the Grizzlies really deserved to win that game. They were going tiff and tat with the Lakers all day there. had the lead in that game. The Lakers had to come back in this spot. So if they could play that same game here, they could probably cover the spread. But we know that the Grizzlies are totally different animal at home than they are away. They have won their past 2 away games, but that was against the struggling Spurs and which they were 11-point dogs, and the Hornets. So I mean, they showed they could win on the road. Some tells me they could possibly be scrappy here, but the Pacers, they're getting Brogdon back tonight, and that's a pretty big deal. That's their best player offensively and defense. I feel like, well, I mean, obviously Miles Turner probably their best defensive player, but as far as on the ball guarding, you know what I'm saying, the point guard, you need Brogdon out there, and it's a totally the Pacers like a different squad without him, with him, you know. So it's crazy to say. I might have to throw the Pacers on something, man, but I'm not sure about the spread. It's getting kind of up there. What you think on this game, Jordan?
I hate to be anticlimactic, but I really didn't make a play on this game. So another one. I think I'm going to probably get a prop in just to have a little action on to make the game a little more enjoyable. But at this point, like this, I would hate to go against either side of this line right now. Like I could easily see the Grizzlies covering here if Brogdon comes back and they're a little slow to get back together, since this starting 5 has not played hardly any games together. I think like 3 or 4 maybe all season, because they've just been hurt, like every single one of them. So I really can't go against the Grizzlies. But then again, I could see Brogdon coming back and then the Pacers dropping 120 points tonight and blowing out the Grizzlies. So I think the spread to me is a sure stay away. Same with the total in this one. It's just really tough for me to make a play. I was looking at a couple of the Grizzlies props. I think Jaren Jackson may be a pretty good eye on the over on points tonight. That's probably where I'm going to lean if I do make a play on this game. But right now, I think the spread in total just way too sharp. I'm just going to enjoy it from that aspect, and maybe root for whoever got some action on player prop wise. But this is going to be a good game. I think Memphis, like you said, has been playing really, really well. Indiana has been holding ship and really playing above expectations considering all their injuries, and now they have pretty much everybody except Oladipo back. So, I mean, this team's still kind of a sleeper in the Eastern Conference. So, Memphis is still obviously about 1 year away with how deep the West is, but this should be a very, very good game regardless.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel that same way. It'll be a damn good game to watch, a damn good game to go to.
Yeah.
Any looks on this game, Junior?
No, this is another stay away for me. I was trying to find every possible angle to take the Pacers in this game because I think they're obviously going to win the game, but can't lay 9 with the Pacers. 5.5 scares me because the Grizzlies are one of these weird teams that trend keeps, they're staying with that trend. They're winning first halves, you know what I'm saying? They won the first half, obviously, against the Lakers. There was only like one first half recently. I think it was against Denver, if I'm not mistaken, where they got smacked around a little bit. Or maybe, no, I think it was against Golden State. They lost the first half against Golden State and against Denver. But other than that, that trend of them winning first halves has kind of kept up. So I don't like laying 5 with them here either. If anything, the only thing that's worth a look to me here is the Memphis team total, which is 103.5. I think that the way that the Pacers look right now, they can hold them to under 103.5. The Grizzlies are not a good road team, obviously. I mean, they don't win really anywhere anyways, but on the road, they definitely struggle to score. Their points per game are pretty different on the road as they are at home, as you would expect, but it's a 10-point difference. They score 112 points per game at home versus 102 on the road. I think the Pacers could keep them at 102, which is why I think the under 103.5 is worth a look here.
Yep, you're exactly right. And to be honest, really, I mean, the Memphis first half, I mean, if we're saying, with Brogdon coming back, like Jordan say, I mean, if the starting 5 hadn't really played together well all year, obviously most of those first halves Memphis were at the house, but it could be a sneaky play here, where Brogdon coming back plus the 5 in the first half for the Grizzlies. We'll see here. The total's been moving down as well. Opened at 217.5. Looks like it's down to 216.5. At some spots taking them some money, and I'm seeing that most of the money is on the Grizzlies here. But you see it go up to 9.5. But obviously that's with Brogdon coming back in. Don't look like they're going to have Jakar Sampson in this spot. We'll see. Definitely a damn good game to watch. Or excuse me. like I always say with NBA, man, you watch the games, you can make a live bet. We don't have a game on have a play on a pregame. You just, you know what I'm saying, you can look at it live, see which team come to play. If Indiana's coming to play and Memphis doesn't like they have their stuff, maybe you have to hop on the Pacers or make a second half play. You can never go wrong with staying off of an NBA game early. You know, so you always have in play if you have that option. But I know some people just, go to the parlay spots, all this type of stuff. They don't really have online accounts, so they just going to bet the full game. So I understand that. But if you can bet online and you can get some in play, you can find middles, man, plus money, all type of shit, alternate lines. I like to in play, man. Football, everything. So hey, I'll let you guys know. I tweet out some in plays. It's pretty tough to tweet them out though, because the lines jump so quickly. That's why I'm not a big fan of tweeting out the lines. I tweet it out. If I go and bet it, by the time I tweet it out, the line is gonna be the change. I guarantee you. So let's get into this next game, man. Let's get into this Sacramento versus Boston spot here. No Kemba Walker here. It is a revenge game. The Kings did already play well versus the Celtics. Obviously, that was on the road over there. They did have Bogdanovich in that spot. I can't tell you here, if the Kings don't have Bogdanovich, I'll be all over the Celtics. I did throw the Celtics money line in the parlay. I do think they win this game. Revenge game, Jay back for another one. The Celtics have went under in 5 straight games. The Kings have went under in 5 of their last 6 games. The Celtics are 27th in pace the last 3, where the Kings are 18th in pace in the last 3. It's a back-to-back for the Kings. 3rd game in 4 nights on the road. I think they're gonna be coming into a real hostile crowd here. Obviously Kemba Walker is out. The Celtics coming off their 5-game road trip. They had 2 days off though in between this, so they back at the house, got some home cooking. I don't like to take a home team back off of that large road trip, but like I say, especially with this being a revenge game, if Bogdanovich is out, I'll be all over the Celtics here. What you like in this game, Junior?
Yeah, I got the Celtics on I got a 3-team money line parlay. Heat minus 600, Celtics minus 270, Lakers minus 200, plays plus 139. I'm all over the revenge game, Jay angle right now. They stopped the Celtics 10-game winning streak. I feel like the Celtics coming back home. Now, usually you do have a good point that, when the team comes back from a long road trip, the first home game can be a letdown spot. But I just think in this situation, the Celtics are coming off 2 losses. And I think that they're the type of team that behind a crowd that's always ready to go, always fired up for every single game, no matter what game it is. They know that their team is coming off a couple losses. They're without one of their main guys, Kemba Walker. The fact that Kemba Walker is out kind of doesn't scare me, because this Boston team is not built around any one guy. If anything, their players rally. The core of their team is still intact with Tatum, Brown, and you have to consider Marcus Smart a core player on that team at this point. He's a leader. I just think that at home, why can't they win by 1 against a Sacramento team that's played 3 road games in the last 4 nights? So I'm all over the Celtics in this spot on the money line.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And like I say, even with the spread. So look, the last game, Buddy Hield had 35 points against the Celtics. I can't tell you, they'll be out for him tonight. He's not getting 35 tonight. He was really the main reason why he won that game. Bogdanovich had 10 assists, 12 points. Like I say, the Kings look totally different without Bogdanovich. He came back last night versus the Wizards, a team that likes to run up and down the court. He's questionable today with that hamstring. So I'm telling him, hey, if it's tightening up and he don't play, this Kings team is trash without him, bro. What's your look on this game, Jordan?
It's a small one, but I'm making a play on the Kings just like you said, if Bogdanovich is in. If he's not, it's a stay-away spot for me. I actually do like the Celtics money line a little bit there in Junior's parlay. I might actually tail him on those plays. But the really key is that Bogdanovich is going to play in this one. But I don't think the back-to-back hurts them too much, because they're still a pretty young team. They do create some matchup issues for Boston. And I hate to be the guy to go to analytics here, but like the Celtics are 12.5 points worse offensively per 100 possessions with Kemba Walker off the court. So I understand that the Boston is it's more of a system. Obviously, Brad Stevens runs this team kind of like a college team more than a pro team when it comes to offensively, but that is going to hurt them tonight. I don't know if it's going to hurt them tremendously against the Kings team, who really his defense is a little questionable at times, and coming off the back-to-back in the 3rd and 4 nights. But I think that actually could play to their advantage. I think Celtic could overlook them a little bit in that instincts, and if that happens, I do think the Kings can cover this 7 points. It's going to be tough though without Bogdanovich, so I'm really waiting to see what his status is. But if he's full go, I think I'll take the points here. It may dip down a little bit if he gets confirmed in, but at the same time, if he's out, you're right. I mean, Boston could absolutely steamroll them tonight even without Walker, so it's a little bit risky. Probably going to keep it pretty small, but I do lean the Kings here.
Right. And one thing that does scare me, obviously the Celtics aren't the same team without Walker. Once he went down versus Denver, who are a damn good defensive team, they scored 58 points in that second half and 35 in the fourth quarter, where in theory they're supposed to be wearing down in Denver. Last game of a road trip. And without Walker, that's when they actually picked it up in that game and made it close. The Denver Nuggets were finna smack them. While it's crazy, in that particular game, while Walker was on the floor, I mean, he didn't have any points in his 10 minutes of play. So the Nuggets were up 27-13 in the first quarter. They were finna smack the shit out of Boston. Then Walker went down and Boston rallied around. The team rallied and like I say, scored 58 points in the second half, and that scared me. I'm like, damn, because I took the Nuggets in the second half, and they messed off the over. You know, they covered the spread in the second half. That tripped me out, man. So it's pretty crazy. But the Celtics, they didn't look terrible without Walker out there. We'll see. Sometimes when the star player's out, the team will rally around them at the house. They just came off a loss versus the Kings 3 games ago. And then, like Junior said, 2 straight losses. The Celtics, who has moxie, they have a lot of moxie. They're 5-0 at the house. I don't see them lose this game. I think it's a tough spot for the Kings here, especially I'm glad that they won that game last night. I'm glad that they were running up and down the court all night. Then they're going to tire out here in the second half. And the Celtics, they're going from night and day, a team that plays no defense whatsoever against a team that plays absolute stifling defense. I like the Celtics here, and I got to like the under as well. We lost a shitload of value with this under, but I'll still take it if Bogdanovich is out because the Kings' offense is a lot worse. Obviously, their second team, Bogdanovich is their key cog off of the bench. They look totally different without him out there. They only scored what 86 points against the Nets. I'm not looking at it right now, but it was a terrible fucking game. Nets, if the Nets can bust them like that, when I saw Bogdanovich questionable, I was hey, my eyes lit up, man. I don't think I got a sneaky suspicion. I don't think he'll play tonight. That hamstring can be a little tricky, man, and you don't want to run him into the dirt. It's third game in 4 nights on the road, not just back to back. Third game in 4 nights on the road. It's a pretty tough spot. Let's get into this next game, man. I got a little parlay too. I'm going a little parlay J too, Junior. Hey, I got to hit on some parlays too, baby. But yeah, I might ride with my guy Junior once again on the parlay. But this is a parlay I had, man. I took the Celtics on the money line. I took the Heat on the first half money line. I didn't want to take the full game. I think they're going to come out here smoking after that. I look at it. They lost that game by 27 to the Sixers, but I look at that as a 40-point loss. They was down 104-64 in that game. I don't care what nobody said. That was supposed to be a 40-point loss, and obviously 76ers let them come back. You know what I'm saying? We don't care about it. We just finna get the dub. Went in there and absolutely smacked them, man. The Heat, off that loss, before that game, they had won 5 straight games and 5-0 ATS. They're 6-0 at the house this year. I think it'll come out hot. I'll be very surprised. Some guys on Jimmy's show is saying the Hornets full game money line. Look, man, I'll give them guys ample amount of credit. They'll have to get on. They'll come on this show tomorrow. I'll get in touch with them. They will come on this show tomorrow if the Hornets win this game straight up and cash the money line. But my parlay, I'm dead serious though. My parlay was the Celtics full game money line. The Heat first half money line, and then I took the Bucks in the full game money line as well, and the exact same payout, Junior, plus 139. But I'm sure that's changed. That's when the Heat was at 10.5, and there's nothing but money coming in on the Heat. It's up to 11 now, so I'm sure that probably has changed, but it still should be some plus money, and I'm trying to cash him. I think the Heat gonna come out here and bust these Hornets up. I'll be very surprised if the Hornets could be competitive in this game. They can be a scrappy team, but I mean, when you let the Bulls come in your house and beat you like that, the Hornets have lost 4 straight games. They had a 4-game road trip, came to the house. Now they back on the road once again. We'll see if they can be competitive here. But what they do is with the guards, and that's exactly what the Heat excel at. They play really good defense. They play really good perimeter defense as well. I can't see players like Graham and Rozier going off in this spot. Who's gonna go off? Zeller against Bam Adebayo? No, I don't see it. I like the Heat here early. What you liking, Jordan?
This is a game that I really would love to take the Heat on. I think I still might, but I haven't made up my mind just yet because of all the things you just mentioned. But the like you said, the Hornets play scrappy. The thing is, if they're not hitting shots, then our offense is going to score about 90 points, and the Heat are going to run them out of the gym. But they're hitting their threes. It's a whole nother story with this team. It's kind of been their Achilles heel all year because their defense really isn't anything to get excited about. Whereas the Heat, like you said, you got Kendrick Nunn and Jimmy Butler in the backcourt of that team. That is exactly where Charlotte excels, and defensively that is where the Heat excel, I think, first and foremost. So that's a very, very tough matchup for those two, especially with Graham and Rozier starting at both now. I just can't see Charlotte staying competitive here for much of this game. They could very easily do it if they're hitting shots, but other than that, it's not happening tonight.
Exactly. That's what I'm feeling, man. Any looks on this game, Junior? I know you liking the Heat to win. You got them on the parlay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll keep it short. First of all, the Heat keep cashing for me, so I'm biased towards that fact. I'm gonna keep riding that train until the wheels fall off. I just feel like after the way they got embarrassed, are you telling me that the Hornets gonna come to Miami and beat them straight up? I don't think so.
Me neither, man. And like I say, I'm not glad that they played that terrible because we finna get into this next game. But after that terrible loss, it's a bet on spot. It's a bounce back spot for them coming back to the house. They had a few days off, had a day off to practice and get back on their ass, man. Hey, I like the Heat here in this spot, especially early. I think they're gonna come out here and smack them and send a message. We know the way that the Heat play; they can come out early and then cover the spot. Let's see. Bogdanovich is listed as probable, so he's listed as probable.
Let's go with it.
I'm still liking my parlay, and sorry, Jordan, but I still think that they're gonna bust their ass, man. But we'll see, man.
It'll be a good game tonight. I don't think they're gonna blow them out, but I wouldn't be surprised if either team covers in this one. It is a small play nonetheless, but I just I got the same notification come across, so I got really excited there for a second.
Right, yeah, no Ariza in this spot just came up. We'll see, man. But Revenge Game J is not one to be messed with, and I can tell you, Jordan, that I thought this line would be somewhere around 3.5, 4 without Kemba Walker. Did not expect to see a -7. Especially, I mean, they're saying if Kemba Walker's in, what, the -10? No, bro. It is a lot of points, but their revenge game factor, it's off 2 straight losses. The one in Denver too. Hey, they better come to play in the first half. That's the only way I see them catching the Celtics off guard. So I think if you like the Kings here, I think in that first, we saw teams on the back-to-back. Here in the first half, they'll give it all that they have. In their second half, it's a very vulnerable spot for them. Very vulnerable. That's interesting. I'll be looking to see how well the Kings play in the first half, and the Celtics' second half will most likely be a play. I can guarantee you that. It's tough to say that. I mean, you can't make a play on the second half before the damn game starts, so can't say that I'm on the second half officially. But we'll see how the games go. The Kings come out scrappy. I will most definitely be on the Celtics in the second half. Let's get into this Raptors and 76er spot, man. I'm gonna let my guy Junior say what he got to say first on this game. Toronto guy.
Yeah, we going head up. We going head to head. Listen, I won't even be super analytical because I know that the storyline is the Sixers are coming in. They're pissed off because the Raptors, specifically Kawhi Leonard hit the first Game 7 buzzer beater in NBA history. So now they're coming to get revenge. I'm not buying it, Jay. I'm just not buying it. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not buying it for 2 reasons. Number one, Kawhi doesn't play for the Raptors no more. So you're never going to get revenge for that shot. Just hold that L, bro. It's just, they just got to live with it. Just deal with it. You're not ever going to fix that. So just stop it. That's number one. Number two, I just think that the Raptors are a completely different team. I swear to you, there's 2 things that convince me about the Raptors. Number one, the way that they haven't really folded with Ibaka and Kyle Lowry going down just makes me think that they're just a hard-nosed, tough team and that they got a real big chip on their shoulder and they're looking at the Sixers like, we beat y'all again. What are you going to say now? And it's only a regular season game, so it's really not even that serious, but you know how headlines work kind of thing. Secondly, and this is really the actual truth, Jay, to the reason why I took the Raptors, and this is just like a single. It's not part of my parlay. This is just a straight bet that I took on the Raptors, plus 103. I just like the price. How often are you getting the Raptors as home dogs throughout the course of a full season? You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a 50-50 game. If I could get the Raptors at plus money, I'm taking it. It's really just as simple as that for me, bro.
Hey, I can dig it, man. I can dig it. I think you could have got a better price with the money line. The spread's moving up to -2. Doesn't look like I'm the only
I know.
one that
I mean,
likes it.
trust me. You were just saying, I'm gonna hit it again, but I got to put that column out at 9 a.m. That was the best price at that time, so that's why I'm saying plus 103.
Yeah,
I'm hitting it for better than that, though.
Plus 115, plus 120 by game time. Let's see, it's going to 2-point underdogs, man. You saw those Raptors open up as a favorite. I think this is their first time being an underdog at the house all year. What you got to say on this game, Jordan?
Other than the game I'm going to, this is the second best game to, I think, lay off and just watch tonight just for the sheer drama of it. But I will, if you guys are going to force me to break the tie here, I'm definitely leaning towards the Raptors in this one just because I don't believe in Philly just yet. I am willing to bet that I will eventually become a Philly believer. But at this point in the year, I am not. And just as Junior, I think, laid it out perfectly. Like, the fact that this team has not gone away, I thought they were going to go away at the beginning of the season, even with all their guys healthy. The fact that they're still hanging tough without their two best players, or maybe let's say two of their three best players, because I think Fred VanVleet is just off the chain this year, and with Pascal Siakam obviously up there. So maybe just we'll say two of the four, even if Baca could be their fourth best player. But this team has surprised the hell out of me this year. I've had to do a complete 180 on them. And whereas Philly, I kind of came in skeptical, and I'm still a little skeptical despite their recent win streak. I think their most recent win against Miami was very impressive, obviously, but the three before that I am not impressed by. If this team is not knocking down shots on the road, which is very possible tonight, I could see Toronto winning this game outright. I am definitely not going to go against them, but I think it's a game ultimately I'm going to lay off. I'll let you two have the fun with this one, and I'll keep it to my game that I'm going to tonight.
Yeah, if you guys like money percentages, if anybody looks at their tickets and money percentages, the 76ers getting 58% of the tickets, 84% of the money. That's why you see that line move from the Raptors -1 to a dog. And I didn't think that I would see that. I thought it was going to be pick or something. I think the 76. I mean, a lot of people are seeing what I'm seeing. I don't think it's really the headlines. I don't think anything like that. I think this is a game where this is an in division rival in the Atlantic Division over there, in conference rival. The Raptors sitting at number 2 seed right now. You got the 76ers who I think are really one of the top teams in the East. They're sitting at number 5, only a half game back. If they win this game, they will leapfrog everybody and be number 2. I mean, everybody will be tied at 2, 3, and 4. But I think you have to put the 76ers there -2 if they beat the Raptors here in this spot. Like you say, I mean, Kawhi Leonard, he was the main person that could beat the 76ers last year, obviously. And it's tough to say that you're not thinking about revenge because the main player isn't there. They don't give a shit about that. Like I say, this is an interconference division rival as well. These two teams are always going to beat each other no matter who the hell is missing. Embiid and Horford could be out. The Raptors still wouldn't overlook them. They'd be like, no, we want to come in here and beat the shit out of this team. Kawhi Leonard, it was only one game where he had 21 points. The rest of the games, he had at least 29 points in that game. Lowry, he balled as well in that series last year. You can't tell me that off that game-winning last second shot, Embiid crying. You can't tell me they haven't been thinking about this all summer. I don't like the fact that they beat the Heat that bad, but the 76ers have been playing well lately. Won 4 straight games, covered 3 of the 4 of those. This playoff revenge, like I say. So you got the Raptors who are second in points in the paint in the last 3. That's where all their points been coming. I don't see it happening tonight, bro. Let's look at some matchups. The only matchup that the Raptors have over the 76ers is Pascal Siakam and Al Horford, which I still think Al Horford is a damn good defensive player and rebounder. He can't keep up with Siakam, but getting him over the Celtics, I guarantee you that these are the type of games, the reason why they got Horford. I didn't like the signing, but these are the type of teams that they need him against. Simmons over Van Fleet, I like that matchup. Josh Richardson over Norman Powell, I love it. Harris over Anunoby, I love it. Siakam gonna get Horford. You gonna give him some. Embiid and Gasol, they better hope Embiid gets in foul trouble, because if not, it's gonna be a long fucking night for old ass Gasol, man. I gotta take the 76ers in this spot with playoff revenge. It's a spot that I'm gonna take every time. If I took the Magic against the Raptors at the house, thought they were gonna win, I definitely had to take the 76ers. Some of the games they played didn't look too good to me, but I think this is one that they've been saving themselves for. Don't like that they played so perfect last game, but this is one they're still gonna be up for. Off a day rest. to practice, get ready for this one. Like I said, you lose a game 7 on a game-winning shot. There's no way in hell that you're not thinking about this all summer. This team has bolstered up, got a little bit better than last year, played more defense. Still not a fan of the coach. That's one thing I say with the Raptors. If you like the Raptors here, say that they're going to out-coach them. I don't like, as far as the matchups on the floor, no, bro. The 76ers are much better. They just don't have as good a coach. That's all I got to say on this one, man. I got to take it, playoff revenge. I done looked up, and we done already did 40 minutes, man. Just one more, real quick, one more game that I did want to talk about. I got to take the Blazers tonight versus the Bulls. It's an absolute must-win spot for the Blazers. I know they sitting the second last in the Western Conference over there. This team isn't that bad. They need to limit the minutes for Carmelo. Bring him off the bench or something, man. Dame Lillard's back. You can't have him in the starting lineup, man. I think Lillard and McCollum go off tonight in Chicago. And I saw Chicago last game after they won the game. And you see the coach for the Bulls like the water boy over there. Slap hands. Then nobody want any part of that. They can't stand their coach. And there was something to look at for me. The Bulls are a bet against for me, man. If you don't like your coach, not listen to what your coach is saying, that means the practices aren't going well. That means that he might call a play during the game. Man, fuck that. We running our own shit. Give me the Blazers in this spot, man. An absolute must win. If they can't beat the Bulls, I don't know when they'll win. It just does hurt that they're on the road, but I think they'll come in focused here.
Jay, tell me that I didn't call Boylen out. Boylen's done, son. I've been saying that since the first game of the season. Get this dude the fuck out of here, bro. You see, the players hate him more than I do, bro. That was right. I'm so glad you noticed that. They didn't want no part. Yo, they were treating this dude like he was the coach of the other team. Like, get the F out of my face, son.
Exactly.
They didn't want. Exactly. They don't like him at all, bro.
Right.
I love that. That was so funny, son.
Yeah, they turned their backs
the management
on their
of the
own
Bulls
coach
is awful.
After a win. Yeah, exactly. Any looks on this game, Jordan?
I was just gonna piggyback up what y'all were talking about. I do have the under on this game real quick, but I just want to beef on Jim Boylen here real quick. I was willing to give the dude the benefit of the doubt, even with all the stories last year of him like basically having an insurrection on day one when he took over last year, and now it seems like that really hasn't thawed at all. I'm definitely getting on the fire Jim Boylen train as well. But just to wrap up the show real quick in the plays, I do think the under is to play on this game simply because both these two teams have been playing a little slower as of late, and the Bulls defense really amps up a little bit at home. Excuse me, they have some really good depth defensively. I think that really helps them, even with Chandler Hutchison's back, so they can bring him off the bench. Portland, other than their top two guys, is still not very good, even with Carmelo. So I do think that this game trends under. We've already seen the Steam chase it down a little bit, about 1.5 so far. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go down to 225 either. So I'm on under 226 in this one.
Exactly. And just the last three games, I do like the Bucks tonight. That's the last one on my parlay. I do think it's a revenge game, Jay. I got to take the Bucks on the full game spread here. Even though the Jazz have owned them, it's been at the house. I think the Bucks don't get this one. We need to see if Gobert is in. I'm thinking he's leaning towards not playing. You see the line move from 5.5 to 7. I'm liking the Bucks in this spot. Could be a sneaky. I know a lot of people going to be on the Lakers here. They don't really look the same on the road, man. I'm not saying that I like the Spurs here, but if I had a free bet on the game, call me crazy. But I think that the Spurs might be able to keep this one close. This is a revenge spot as well. They already played the Lakers at the house, and that was a pretty close game as well. The Spurs are terrible, but these are type of games that they'll get up for. Not a fan of their team whatsoever. I'm staying away from that OKC and Golden State spot. What you liking on this game, Junior, and this Lakers and Spurs?
Yeah, the Lakers are part of my parlay. I'll be real quick because I know we're going over our time here. It's a 3-team parlay with the Lakers minus 200, Celtics minus 270, Heat minus 600, pays plus 139. I just don't like the matchup for San Antonio. I know they just got a win, but they beat the Knicks. I mean, we called that they were going to beat the Knicks early in their losing streak, saying they're going to lose all of these games until they get to New York. They're going to beat the Knicks, then go home and get their asses whipped by the Lakers. So if I called that a week ago, I'm not going to go against that now because it's playing out exactly the way we thought. So I don't like San Antonio in this matchup in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you can't look the revenge game, Jay, though, Junior. There's one thing you got to look at. Last time Lakers in this house favored by 1.5, it was a 7-point game. Spurs pretty much took them to the end. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that one. Last looks on this one, Jordan?
Yeah, I think this is definitely a nice spot for the Lakers money line in that parlay. I wouldn't even mind them laying the points on the road. This San Antonio team, we've pretty much dogged on them all year. They really can't get anything done, even at home. They're trying out different lineups right now with Jakob Poeltl starting, which I mean will help a little bit against the Lakers. But yeah, not Lakers are nothing in this one for me.
Exactly, man. Y'all heard it, man. Y'all heard it from my guys and myself. Y'all heard the plays. We got to get out of here and win 5 minutes over, man. I know nobody likes it. It could be a letdown spot for the 76ers, but I'm going with the playoff revenge. It's one of my better plays of the day, man. I like the 76ers here in the spot where I have to take it. And they're favored to give the Raptors their first home loss of the season, man. So we'll see. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to Jam with J Money. We hope you guys come back tomorrow. And I got to end it like I used to. Leche, A-Los Bookmakers.